Hey everybody, welcome back to Half-Life Lore / Theory. I'm basically stealing Dreadowl's formula in order to do sort of it's a cross between lore and a theory. They're both combined, kinda. Basically what I'm going to be talking about a piece of lore, but also doing some speculation because there's not much we know about it, and it's gonna kind of mash into each other, and it's gonna be amazing. You'll see what I mean. Today, this thing is basically going to be talking about teleportation in the Half-Life universe. There have been so many different types of teleportation throughout the universe, and it more or less is basically the driving factor in both Half-Life and Portal. So let's dig in and discuss, I guess, to all the different types of teleportation and see what cool stuff we can find out about it. So let's go. Let's start with Black Mesa. Their whole facility is based around studying teleportation, it seems. I mean, they got places to store creatures they found from places to do stuff with crystals they found from Zen, all that stuff. They got teleportation labs. They've gotten the whole 9 yards to study teleportation itself, while Aperture Science studies teleportation, among other things. Anyway, so the main way that they go about doing teleportation is called displacement, which basically is the in-universe version of the Star Trek teleporters, how you basically get someone into energy form and then send them somewhere. At least from what we can tell, that's basically what they do. They also technically were working back, like in the 50s, they were working on what basically became the Zen Relay that the Resistance would later use in Half-Life 2. But then they just switched over to more or less displacement, like the like what you see in the Lambda complex. And as Dr. Rosenberg said, it basically involves Zen crystals to work. Now the prototype teleportation with the Zen Relay sort of also works with displacement, but they moved on to a different way of doing it for the Lambda reactor. However, in Half-Life Blue Shift, Dr. Rosenberg and Barney Calhoun, along with Simmons and Walter Bennett, they worked together to create the Zen Relay idea, and it works, allowing them to escape the facility in the middle of the Black Mesa incident. Isaac Kleiner and Eli Vance then used that teleportation technology idea and expand more upon it when the Resistance is formed, and they work to help citizens escape from Combine tyranny in City 17 out to their other bases in Black Mesa East and also in Ravenholm, and also even out to the coast. However, of course, those plans, you see more of that in Half-Life 2. I won't get too much into that because Dreadowl has done thousands of videos about that. So let's move on to the next person who does a lot of teleportation. Aperture Science. Aperture's portals work a lot differently from Black Mesa's. Apertures use wormholes to teleport things from one place to another. That's why you can see the other side when you're using the portal gun. It's all based around the wormholes. That's how the old portal gun works, that you see in the older Aperture areas, and also the newer Aperture Science handheld portal device that you use in every single Portal game. Now, of course, there's also the Borealis. That one, at least from what we can tell in Epistle 3, basically what it'll do is it'll create this, I guess, large bubble around it that then teleports everything within the bubble through time and space, or whatever. It's, I guess that's also a wormhole, but it could also be displacement. It's hard to say. I think it's more TARDIS technology, to be honest, but again, the only source of information about it is really the thing, the Epistle 3 novel, I guess. So it's hard to really tell how it works. However, from speculation, this is where the theory part comes in, This is a theory I had before Pistol 3 even came out, and this I credit what's his name? He did a theory. He's another tiny Half-Life theorist who got to like 3,000 subs and then stopped doing stuff. I'll figure him out and put him in the description. Basically, his theory was that the Borealis' teleportation device was the multiverse device from the Portal 2 community testing chamber thing. And I think that is possible, and hell, maybe that's just the same thing as the Bootstrap device. I mean, in the thing, the Pistol 3, some names are switched around. Those two could still be the same thing. I don't know, but even if they're not, it's possible that they use the same technology because again, those things are inter-universal, and they could be, and yeah, they could in theory use similar technology, and of course, same with the portal gun. Now, Zen is a different story. Of course, they are technologically advanced, so it's probably similar to Black Mesa's displacement. However, at the same time, it's also possible that this cosmic energy thing, teleporter thing that they've invented is also tied to the vortescence. Again, you can watch Dreadall's video on the Vortigaunts to learn more about that. But the reason I think so is because of course it's the Vortigaunts who mostly use it and invent it, along with the alien controllers and the Nihilant. But also, it seems in opposing force, you can actually see a Vortigaunt seemingly teleporting around at will. So if the Vortigaunts can telepathically use this power, then it's probably is based in the vortescence. So that's probably how that works. Again, more speculation. So the last people from the Half-Life 1 era of things is Race X. Now Race X seems to have two different forms of doing things. The first one is the weird Pepto-Bismol portal that they have at the end of Half-Life Opposing Force that the Gene Worm comes through. The fact that you can go halfway through and slowly go through makes me think that it's basically a lot like Aperture's portal gun, which again is a wormhole, so I think that is possibly a wormhole. While at the same time you see these little round portal things similar to what you see all around Black Mesa, but they're pink, and I think that is displacement. And they seem, now the big wormhole things seem to be powered by the little sprite things that you'll see floating around Black Mesa. And you even see some of those sprite things at the very beginning in the, right when the resonance cascade happens. Now those sprites probably power, they do seem to power that wormhole portal that the Gene Worm comes through at the very end. So I think those things are the power source behind the wormhole, while the other smaller teleporters that are probably displacement technology, at least from what we can tell, they are powered by Zen crystals. Then we come to the Combine Empire. They have the ability to create super portals, which will basically allow you to... It's basically creating a rift between two universes, and then basically drilling through and opening it wider so that they can send their whole forces through. That's what they were going to try and do at the end of Half-Life 2 Episode 2, but they were stopped when the Resistance launched a rocket into space that closed it via some satellite, Xenium resonator, whatever. Now they also have the Dark Fusion portal that you see at the end of Half-Life 2, and then you destroy. Those things seem to be powered by the high energy pellet, or well, they're called energy things. The weird thing is that those things are the same thing, the high energy pellet from Aperture Science and the energy ball that the Combine use, and also use in their AR2s. I don't know if those are supposed to be the same thing or if they're different. Neither of the wiki is really knows. From what we can tell, those things are basically big balls of dark fusion energy that has been put into, yeah, basically the ball is kind of like a battery, and the Combine use it. And now I see the fact that those things seem to power the portal, the big dark fusion portal. Then I look back to Race X with the sprite things that power its portal, I think that it's possible that those things... I think the sprites and the fusion ball things might actually be the same thing or be related in some way. It's possible. Now, but back to the Dark Fusion Portal, those things seem to be, again, wormholes, given that things can just fly on through and you can see things on the other side. Yeah. But they are inter-universal, and they will go, and they can tunnel between universes. However, as you know, the Combine cannot teleport within the same universe, and that's why they want to get a hold of the Resistance's Zen Relay technology. And the last user of portals a lot is the G-Man. Now, the G-Man, given that he is basically God, it can create any type of portal at will. He can create the displacement portals you'll see at the very end of Half-Life 1, and he'll also create the little door thing, like at the end of Half-Life 2, that just goes through reality. Of course, we already know how the displacement portals work, but the big thing in the doorway, that we have no real explanation. I guess it's a wormhole, maybe, but in all honesty, it's probably just a portal back to his employer's headquarters or something. I don't know. But that's basically it. That's all the teleportation stuff in the Half-Life universe. I hope you enjoyed. I will make more Half-Life theories in the future, maybe, if I get around to it, but first I want to do the other stuff I have planned. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.